Good morning. It's Sunday, January 12 at about 9:30 in the morning. Yesterday I was able to go to Mason City, which was a little over 250 miles round trip. It's a cool town. The highlight for me was the Frank Lloyd Wright Hotel, where I took a tour and later had dinner. There's also a Frank Lloyd Wright house that was closed because we missed the tour, but they have a museum next door that I went into and enjoyed. Purpose of the trip, obviously, was to see the new and improved Elizabeth Warren. The good news is that she is new and improved to some extent. Change number one, chairs. The place did sell out, but there were many, many chairs, and 95% of the audience was able to find a seat and be comfortable. Change number two, her 37-minute stump speech came out to 11 minutes and 40 seconds. That was good. There were still some logistical issues. For example, the doors opened at 2:30. The first speaker was to speak at 3:45. That didn't happen. The first speaker spoke at 4. Julian Castro was on the card. He did not show up, and there was no mention made of him. Representative Katie Porter, a Democrat from Orange County, California, did speak. She spoke briefly. She's from Fort Dodge, Iowa, not that far away. And she then went to school in the East. And at Harvard Law School, she had Elizabeth Warren as a teacher. And I guess the two of them have been friends ever since. She was brief and to the point, and not a problem. Instead of taking 3 questions, still democratically selected, as you walk in, they give you a little ticket like you would at a ski raffle or something. And then they draw the tickets out of the hat, and if you happen to have a winning ticket, you're one of the people who gets to ask a question. Instead of 3 of those, they started with 5, and she breezed through those fairly quickly. And they added either 3 or 4 more. I lost count. So we had 8 or 9 questions taking 40, 50 minutes as opposed to 3 questions taking 10 minutes. For some reason, Elizabeth Warren seemed to run out of steam after the first couple of questions. And her answers to the last 5 or 6 questions were not of the quality as her original answers. At some point, she just kind of switches back into jargon. And for those of us familiar with her stump speech, she switches into phrasing and paragraphs that come out of her stump speech but have been cut in order to shorten it. I didn't record one of the questions because I just screwed up and didn't hit the record button, but no great loss. I did not record her 11-minute and 40-second stump speech because I've heard it all before, and if you want to hear her stump speech, I have a video up that's 37 minutes long in the Stevens Auditorium at Iowa State. That was a wonderful presentation. It's probably the best political event I've been to in Iowa in the going on 4 months I've been here. So I recommend you go listen to that instead of mourning the absence of the 11-minute and 40-second stump speech in Mason City yesterday. I will put up a video of her questions and answers, but I will edit it severely. I remember at the Stevens Auditorium, she had 3 questions. 2 of them were on agriculture, and I put in my commentary that I wasn't going to put up a question and answer video because, well, she did use the word farmer in answering the questions on agriculture. Basically, all she did was spout jargon in response to what was asked. There were no questions on agriculture yesterday. Unfortunately, there were no questions on Iran and Iraq and how she would deal with America's military. But there was a question for a change on her health care bill, which has changed. It's not Medicare for all any longer. And there were other questions. So I'll try to limit it to 15 or 20 minutes tops.
Let's talk about this for a minute. And again, let's start with what's broken. 36 million Americans did not get a prescription filled last year because they couldn't afford it. That includes people with health insurance, right? needs. They were sick enough, had a serious enough problem that they went to the doctor wrote them a prescription, and then they couldn't afford to have it filled. Couldn't get the treatment they needed. And we could play this out a whole lot of other ways. The millions of people who never went to the doctor to have the lump checked out because they're afraid they couldn't afford it. The millions of people who didn't get the test run that the doctor told them to get run. It's happening all over America. It's happening to people with insurance. It's happening to people with Medicare. It's happening to people all over America. And it's getting worse year by year. Because what's happening is that the deductibles are going up. The co-pays are going up. The monthly fees for the insurance are going up, and the amount of care that's not covered is going up. So we've got to do something. This is killing American families. We've got to find a better way to deal with health insurance. So here's how I think about this. I think of it as we have a chance in 2020 to be able to make a change. And the change I want to make is I want the most help for the most people as quickly as possible. So part one is I will do what I can do. I love this. I will do what a president can do all by herself. And what does that mean in this context? It means two things. First, defend the Affordable Care Act. We've got to defend the Affordable Care Act. The Trump administration is doing everything they can to take the legs out from underneath it. We need to defend it. Second thing I will do is I will use power that's already available, it just hasn't been used, to the president to lower the price of commonly used prescription drugs. How many people in here use insulin or know someone who does? EpiPens, right? As president, I can come in and lower the cost of insulin, of EpiPens, of HIV/AIDS drugs. We can save American families hundreds of millions of dollars in the first year. The second part is to say, how can we get ourselves to a place where families all get the health care they need without worrying about going broke? So here's something I worked really hard on. A lot of folks said, you can't do this without raising taxes on middle-class families. And for me, that's just a non-starter. Middle-class families have been squeezed hard enough. We can't raise taxes on middle-class families. So, went back, did the math, looked at it, and said, you know what? We can find enough money to provide health care for our people, and here's how we can do it. You can raise taxes on the top 1% in America. They can afford it. Yeah. Plus, we can actually change the tax laws so we collect taxes from folks like Amazon and Chevron who make billions of dollars. And third, my personal favorite is we can crack down on the tax cheats at the top and make them pay, and we can use that money on health care. So, we've got enough money to be able to provide health care for everyone in this country without raising taxes on middle-class families. How do we get from where we are to there? Part of it's going to be in the taxes, but here's my proposal. And that is, in the first 100 days, we go to Congress, we can do this by budget reconciliation, 50 votes, and say, because we know where the money is, we pass those taxes, and then we offer full health care coverage to everybody under 18, to everybody who's got a family income under $50,000. That would basically be to about 135 million Americans at no cost, and at a small cost to anybody else who wants to buy it. Nobody has to take it, but if you want to give it a try, it's there for you. And then we let millions of Americans try it. What is it like to have health care that's between you and your doctor or nurse practitioner or mental health professional or physical therapist, with us on insurance companies standing in the middle saying no, 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 no. We offer it to people. People can choose it if they want. And then And then we got a lot of allies in this fight. And then take the vote whether or not to make the transition to the full system of Medicare for all, for everyone. That's my idea. And that is in the design, and it's a little piece, but boy, it could matter in your life. And that is that the reimbursement rates are high enough to keep every single community hospital in America open. No more community hospitals that have to spend $1 zillion on different insurance plans and the paperwork and trying to figure out how to collect from people who aren't able to pay. It's that we have to think of healthcare in terms of public health. And that means you and your doctor, but it also means that you've got a hospital nearby that you can go to if you need help. It's an important part of providing health care for everybody. So thanks for the question, Kathy. You know, I mentioned the boys, my 3 older brothers. One is a Democrat. Do the math. 2 are Republicans. I love all 3 of my brothers. And here's how I look at this. We could continue to do this. You run to your corners and yell the Republican talking points, and I'll run to my corner and yell the Democratic talking points, and we can bang heads forever. Believe me, I've done it with my brothers, right? But we don't make much progress doing that. And we don't offer help to this nation in the ways we should. So here's how I see this. If we talk about the things that are really broken here, like corruption, it kind of shakes up the table as between Democrats and Republicans. You know, the idea that Washington is working well for the rich and powerful and not working for much of anyone else, Democrats don't have a corner on that market. Republicans, I'm not talking about in Washington, I'm talking about across the nation, they get it too. You ask Democrats and Republicans, do you think money is calling a lot of the shots in Washington? And the answer is yes on both sides. Yeah. Do you put a high priority on passing anti-corruption legislation? And the answer is yes on both sides, a majority. So here's where I start this fight as president, is to say the first thing I want to do is pass an anti-corruption plan. It's not designed to help Democrats or Republicans, it's designed to help you. It's designed to get this government working, not just for the folks who can afford to spend millions of dollars every year lobbying Congress. It's supposed to break that up and get your voice lifted, make your voice the important voice in Washington. I think we're going to get a lot of folks together on that. And here's the fun part. I'm going to dare Congress to vote against anti-corruption legislation. I'm going to be out there fighting for it as president, and I'm going to ask all of you and independents and the Republicans to be in that fight. Hold Congress accountable. Hold them accountable on this crazy business that's going on with the lobbyists. Hold them accountable on this crazy business that goes on with the revolving door. Hold Congress accountable. Let's make some changes in the law. That's going to be our first. And then let's build on the things we do together. So from there, I'll tell you the first place I'd love to go on this, and that is, it's time for a wealth tax in America. A 2-cent wealth tax on the top 1/10 of 1% in America.
I see the Green New Deal as our new moonshot. I want to see how
Mary, we are on the same wavelength on this. So let's start with the urgency of the moment. Climate change threatens every living thing on this planet. I don't know about you, but the part that scares me me the most is every time the scientists collect more information and put it into their models, things are worse than we thought, and we have less time than we thought. So what are we going to do? And the answer is the urgency of the moment is so intense, it can't be your plan versus my plan. It's got to be that we're willing to move forward on a lot of fronts at once. So the one that, I got a lot. I'll do the things the president can do all by herself on the first day, like no new drilling and no new mining on federal lands. I'll enlist our farmers to be part of the climate solution, make it financially able for them to I will work from the beginning for environmental justice, to clean up the places, largely in communities of color, where we have dumped toxic waste, where we have permitted polluting industries to go, and it has damaged the health of children, it has damaged the health of seniors, it has undercut the economy. We're going to take a look at the places that have been hit the hardest, and we're going to fix them. That's part of our job. I'm going to say something. Mary felt comfortable saying this, so I'm going to say something that's very controversial in Washington, but I feel like I can say it here. I believe in science. I know. But because I believe in science, I believe this is our path. All of the others are important. This is our path. We need to go up tenfold on our investment in basic science and research, development, applications. We need to make that investment. We need to innovate our way out of the mess we're in. And here's the next step in that, is to say, we recognize there's an upcoming worldwide market for green. It's measured in trillions of dollars. It's green energy, it's how to clean carbon out of the air, how to clean it out of the water, desalinization, and a lot of this stuff has not yet been invented, right? It's like the catalytic converter back when, nobody had quite gotten it together yet. So here's the plan. U.S. taxpayers will invest in science, and then we'll say, you can build, anyone can build from what we've got here, without having to worry about a patent fee or anything else, so long as you build it right here in the United States. We sell it or we give it away if we have to around the world, because this isn't just about cleaning up our country. After all, we're 20% of the problem, which is a big hump, but there's 80% still that needs to be dealt with. We are on this planet together, and we need to save it together, and we need to show them So I think this starts with the fundamental question of what wins, right? Because that's what everyone wants to do. Okay, maybe not 100% of everyone, but a lot of people just want to be Donald Trump. Okay. But here's the thing. Fear doesn't win. Courage and vision win.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.